Hi everybody, Awesomeness123 here. As part of the newest installment in our War Games series, I'm going to be playing the Company of Heroes 2 beta. Now the beta is open to everyone on Steam, but only until June 18th, so if you were thinking about downloading it, or even just want to know what Company of Heroes is like, be sure to get it soon. As a beta, it is a little limited. Obviously, you can't do campaign, you can't do the challenge missions, and the customizer is a bit smaller than what I've seen in other videos, but skirmishes are fully intact, and as are the experience you earn from matches. It has been confirmed that experience will transfer over to the main game should you choose to get it, which is always nice to get a little heads up. There are three types of skirmishes. There's player versus player, there's player versus bots, and there's custom game, which is friends, bots, and all that fun stuff. Now, word of warning, I am not the greatest. I'm not even incredibly good. So, I think to spare other online people the toil and joy of playing with me, we're just going to go with some bots. Now, there are two armies. There's Germany and there's Russia. And there are 5 maps. 3 of these maps are winter battlefields, which means a lot of the features they pushed for this new game. For those of you who don't know, in the snow, your infantry can freeze, so you have to keep them in shelter or around campfires. You can use snow to sort of lay ambushes and hide your troops. One incredibly devilish thing is you can cross your troops and tanks over frozen rivers, but the enemy artillery can knock them out, causing all your units to sink to the bottom of the ocean, which is so deliciously horrible that I know I just have to do it at some point. But for now, it's probably safest to just do... Let's just do Pripyat. Now, as I said, there's 2 armies. There's Russia and there's Germany. I guess for this loadout, I'll roll Germany. Obviously, you can page through different loadouts. I'm not nearly experienced enough to make it matter. You can pick from 3 generals, similar to the last Company of Heroes. The only difference is now there's at least 4 or 5 generals in the beta, which obviously you unlock by ranking up. And I have seen pictures of what appears to be nearly a dozen generals. They're not present, but it certainly will be interesting, and it really helps you craft your loadout. They each give you different, abilities. Some are more on support, some are more on heavy armor, and they're completely different for both Germany and Russia. The other thing that's new is bulletins. The way bulletins work is, as you can see for this one, half-tracks now have 2% increased health. Now, that was unlocked by default, but essentially you unlock these bulletins by completing various challenges. It might be, kill 200 enemies with a specific type of unit, or, kill 5 mortar teams with another mortar team. Now, obviously, these aren't things you're doing in one game, and they don't really seem so crazy as to, sort of encourage that elitist, stomping early people. If anything, they just give you a little bit more flexibility. Which, granted, in the hands of a good pro can be all you need, but that's neither here nor there right now. So we're just going to start this game up. I'm only rank 4. Now, that only took me about 3 games. So, obviously I don't think ranking up would take that much. Not quite clear on how leveling up works, but as it stands, they only encourage different tactics. Everything is still pretty good out in the open. One thing Company of Heroes is well known for is the flexibility you need when dealing with enemies. You can't just, infantry rush everything and hope for it to work, because one tank can tear you apart. You can't just run tanks, because anti-tank weapons can be absolutely horrible. That's coming from personal experience, watching two of my heavy panzers get torn apart by a surprise attack by some heavy infantry. Was not fun. So yeah, word of the wise. One thing they have changed up is, well, in the original Company of Heroes, points were either munitions, like the little bullets, or fuel, like the little gas cans. Well, they clearly still have variants of this. They've really changed it up in a way that I think could be pretty interesting. In that your basic mechanic unit, either the Pioneer for the Germans or the other one for the Russians, builds things called caches. These caches either generate more munitions or more fuel and go right over the other points. It's really nice because, you know, no more scrambling to capture that very critical fuel point. No more scrambling to, you know, get that one little thing. Now you can really sort of tailor how you're going to do. If you're going to push more infantry, just build a bunch of munitions. If you're going to push more vehicles, do more fuel. They haven't changed up that much in terms of the original game. You know, your primary thing is taking bases and, you know, upgrading your troops, and it's certainly interesting. Here you go. As you can see, they've already captured one of our points, so it's time to move. As I've said, I'm not the greatest at this game, so I've won some and lost some, and the AI is very good at sort of putting you on its back. But at any rate, we'll kind of play this one through and we'll see what happens. I'm starting to push my guys forward a little bit to secure some of the points. Okay, they put that cache up. It's time to move on the So they've put that cache up. It's time for my guys to start grabbing bases. So as you can see, there's some basic Soviet infantry coming to mess with us. I'm going to bring in my German troops to sort of hurt them. Russians throw Molotovs because of course they do. So we've got the point. I'm going to slap down a defensive bunker to cover our flank from this side. What's that? And as I thought, they're trying to take that one down. So I'm going to move my infantry in, or my pioneers in. What's interesting is they got rid of the whole idea of, they got rid of the whole idea of having to manually capture a point. Now you simply have to stand in the little circle. I know they changed up the line of sight a bit. What that basically means is, as you can tell, we can't see here because this ridge is blocking us, which means they could have anything there. The cover system is still the same, so nothing to worry about there. And let's just see how things are going. Okay, that bunker's up. Let's make it a heavy machine. Oh, never mind. So I keep my men in cover. They set up, and heavy machine gun. Okay, see, that's what happened. I got distracted, and they threw a Molotov and burned my engine. my engineer to death. Almost.
Back to base. Full back. But here we go. Pioneer squad moving out. Pioneers ready for anything.
Our headquarters has been improved.
Okay, we have now escalated to Battle Phase 1, which is how Germany goes about, making better troops. Let me throw up a machine gunner to hold what I've already got. So I'm gonna move my guys up the trench. Okay, and now that I've ranked up, I've unlocked my commander. Let's go with the support doctrine. And each of them unlocks different abilities that require a certain number of command points. Okay, I hear engine tracks coming, which could be bad. Oh, no, it's one of ours. But at any rate, it's definitely interesting. As I've said, I'm not going to be allowed really to rely on infantry for very long. I'm gonna move those up there. Gonna move my soldiers up. Okay, so rifle grenade, and they've gained veterancy. The way veterancy works is as your unit, gets kills and basically starts, doing a lot better. It gets more effective at killing and all that fun stuff. Let's drop in a mortar team. Okay, I'm gonna hold this point here. Burn me out of cover, will you? Interestingly enough, if my engineers weren't there, we couldn't see here because they've actually made it that burning vehicles. They've actually made it that burning vehicles. What am I trying to say? They made it that burning vehicles will actually block line of sight. I think is really interesting. Okay, pop a rifle grenade. Okay, so now I've upgraded my bunker with an MG42. Probably gonna move one of my guys in to fix it. Now that I'm at probably can upgrade to the next tech level, and that'll let me start bringing out the heavy stuff, the medium stuff, medium tanks. It's like, see, they could have their whole forces here, and I wouldn't even know it till it's already too late. So I'm gonna move my MG up. Maybe place some anti-personnel mines. Okay, see, that's a problem because that's a mortar shell coming down on us. How do I resolve this issue? Well, let's let well, I can resolve that by building a half-track. Or a sniper. Let's do both. Okay, so they've got an anti-tank. So, well, these engineers are going to work on fixing this bunker back up. I'm going to have my mortar team go here and just sort of drop the hammer on them. Yeah, one of the big things about Company of Heroes is that you want sort of an even mixture of forces. You know, you don't want just infantry because, as I've said, you'll get torn apart by armor. Armor's a little more durable to infantry attacks and vice versa, but still something you want to watch out for. So yeah, I'm going to load my squads up into this vehicle. Actually, no.
Flammenwerfer is ready.
We are installing a flamethrower.
You want something?
Let's pull the... Let's have them make our support armor core. And this guy right here can now whisk my sniper off to wherever he needs whisking.
Pioneers ready for anything.
Now we're holding them off pretty good. Generally, it's been 50-50. I'm not gonna lie as to whether or not your AI is able to help. But, you know, that's better than nothing. So as you can see now, I can plop down an artillery tank, which I think I'll throw there just to give my allies a little cover and support. So he's moving. I don't quite have the... See, I don't quite have the manpower. As your army size goes up, your manpower rate starts to slow, which is very interesting. But, you know, basically, it's sort of like if you lose a bunch of infantry really quickly, then if you lose a bunch of units really quickly, you're a little more well prepared to deal with everything. Okay, the enemy's dropping in points now. Okay, there's my half-track. Where's my sniper? Oh, he got left behind. Well, whatever, in good Company of Heroes fashion, I'll find a nice building to move him into, and there aren't any. So what I'll do is I'll just post him in the woods. As you can see, they've got, like, they're pinning my units, while my artillery just sort of eats them alive. Like, as you can see, based on my line of sight, I can't see around that house. So they could easily hide. They could easily hide a decent amount of units there. Let me rain down some fire on this LMG that's suppressing my units. Oh hey, my units are being suppressed. Oh, that's a tank. Okay, we're gonna pull them out of there. So see, I have no idea what effect that's having. I'm gonna move my engineers into the bunker. Okay, that's a tank. Good job. Oh boy. Okay, that's bad. I'm gonna want to get them out of here. Ooh, never mind. Okay, time to go some more. Time to bring in the heavy guns. Now, they're definitely hitting us with artillery. So I think I'll bring out a panzer. Panzer and probably an anti-tank gun to swing around the front.
We are ready for action. Half-track ready.
Okay, I'm gonna move that half-track and I'll bring him back here.
Rolling.
Oh boy.
Pioneers!
Half-track has arrived.
Okay, that could be bad. Not yeah, that could be pretty bad.
Gun has arrived. We have additional Ostrup building. New unit has arrived. The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Okay, he's got a few Panzerschrecks, so that could be pretty not bad. And of course, we're still sitting here. Oh, that's bad. Oh, this should be interesting.
We have a forward structure under attack.
Okay, I think they'll. Okay, see, they hit our they hit my anti-personnel mines.
He's taking fire. We have a target bearing.
Uh-oh.
The enemy has spotted us. We are ready.
See, that's somewhat bad.
He's dead.
Here they're starting to push up with some heavy armor.
Half-track awaiting orders.
Pioneers!
Where's that Panzerschreck?
We are under attack.
Already dead? Oh, wonderful.
Half-track ready. Gas it, driver.
Oh, okay, the vehicle was disabled.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. I think we have that. Hold down. Take to bits.
Okay, so now he's been somewhat crippled.
Standing by. We have been assigned fresh passing grenadiers.
He's apparently trying to drive all over us.
Our HQ is under attack.
Okay, and that exploded, which is cool.
Ready! Cover!
Okay. So the first thing we want to do is my ally appears to be moving. I'm going to move my pioneers up and sacrifice them to get an anti-tank squad back.
Is taking our territory.
Crap.
Grenadiers on the move.
Where's that Panzer?
Put it in gear, driver. We will be retrofitted to cut that infantry down. Combat! MG-42 turret ready.
Pioneers are ready.
Okay. I will say this, compared to a lot of other games, and I really like this, the balance appears to be a little better. Like, in opposed to a game like, say, I know it's a different genre, but like a game like Battlefield, where, quite frankly, if you're even decent with an enemy, or with a vehicle, you will tear, you know, you will tear people apart.
You want something?
We have lost a squad. What? Shoots in here. Capturing objective. We're engaged!
get on that point?
Use a rifle grenade! We got them! Seizing!
So, yeah, I'm gonna move my artillery up here to rain some fire.
What do you need? Get them! They're flanking us! Enemy engaging! Grenades!
Grenade bundle.
Enemy flank us! Vicky!
Oh, that's artillery. Okay, move, 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 move. Okay, don't panic. Just gonna slide some guys in here. Okay, there we go. See, he's doing his job. He's suppressing and basically hurting any machine gun that even comes close. Now that is how you do it, anonymous German tank driver. Okay, let's bring out a little more. One of the problems really is that vehicles can't capture buildings. I don't care how big and burly your giant, tiger tank is, it can't take objectives. Oh, gotta turn. Because the front armor of my tank is much weaker than the rear. So part of operating a tank is this sort of, like... Is it wrong to call it a dance? I don't think so. It's basically this elaborate dance to try and hit your opponent's weak spot. Okay, that tank is out of control. Ah! Damn. Okay. Time for some aid. Yeah. As you can see, one of the problems that I have is getting my half-tracks confused. So he's not doing anything. So I'm going to swing him back over here. Move my artillery back. Hope and pray. Okay, they're doing that. Hope and pray my panzers can get here in time. That's a tank. So now I've got to change things up. What I'm gonna do... No! Oh, pull back, pull back! Okay, I activated a special ability that basically bombards the crap out of anybody who steps into this territory. Okay, I'll have them build heavy Panzer Corps.
Heavy factory under construction.
I'm gonna move up to this cat point.
Range artillery now available.
Okay, that's a mortar shell. Okay, and as you can see, I have, well, I'm slightly close to the manpower I need, but it's really time to move.
It will be ours.
Half-track awaiting orders.
I got my artillery half-track set up.
Driver, get us there.
Shoots in here. Squad moving out. Panzer Grenadiers. AT squad moving out.
Yep, now it's important to remember my flanks. While I can defend this side fairly well, I can still lay a cluster of panzers in ambush right here.
We have reduced our foes to 100 points.
Now this is probably already, like, we're already in the bag just due to the massive lead in points we have, but it's interesting. Oh, see, like they're moving there, try and steal our point. Yeah, I've never been totally great with the management portion, but as you can see, so they've got that flamethrower. I'm gonna throw a bundle grenade, which is gonna go off beautifully. Okay, throw a bundle there to keep them. Okay, they're pinned. That bundle will do good.
Enemy is taking our territory. Action is hit. We have the target.
Schützen, advance! Bastards are trying to kill us! Yes?
Panzer ready.
Fire on that Panzer! Taking losses! Does this shit long enough? You get good at it. Break contact!
You need something? Come fast moving. The enemy is down to 75 points. Water carrier is moving.
As you can see, this gets very intense. You know, I've got this going off. Well, they're pushing up like that. I'm gonna pop another artillery drone there. My tanks, or my Panther is moving in. Oh, good, one of my Panzers survived.
MG-42 turret is ready.
It's a real balance, you know, between artillery and tanks and infantry, because you can't capture anything without infantry. Oh. Boom. Okay, got my artillerymen. Okay, they're down to 55 points.
Yeah?
Got my double veteran Panzers.
Awaiting orders. Get us out of here.
Like, see, they're completely pinned right now. So what I should be doing if I was smart would be putting my artillery in the back and put my Panzer or my Panther up front. Basically what will happen is my Panzer will pin them. Huh?
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Ready! Light Panzer opened up!
Enemy has broken our supply line. Have hammered the enemy down to 50 points.
Okay, I'm gonna pull them back. Got my squaddies moving up. And it's done right. This game is a great like back and forth and back and forth. Done wrong, it's a massacre, but luckily we didn't have one of those there. Are they still? They are still on that point. And that's why I'm terrible. Let's throw down some anti-tank mines for fun.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Panzers provide a great counter to tanks.
Has arrived.
And while there are no anti-tank infantry, or while there are no, anti-tank tear apart lighter armor in one shotgun, they get it done.
Squad moving out. Panzer Grenadiers moving out. Moving.
And that's the power of flanking. His tank is faced behind me, allowing my panzers to get shots in on that light rear armor. I mean, even under this kind of firepower, even the medium tanks get crippled pretty fast.
Enemy is inflicting losses upon us.
Get moving!
Hey, they've got their sniper set up.
Contact!
Yeah? Panzer strike to the front. We're moving.
I'm gonna save up for another heavy tank.
Ivan is shooting at us! Yeah, displacing. You need on the move.
You have orders?
Squad, take forward.
Mach schnell! Move!
Yeah! Go! Go! Bitte mortar! Use the
Grenade bundle, go! Ah! Okay, see, that was bad. That was what we call bad.
Taking fire from an enemy pack. We have a fresh half-track at our disposal. Moving out. Mortar carrier waiting for orders. Granatwerfer en route. Ready. Our forces increase.
Okay, now.
Get moving.
You want some? Let's move it.
Take location.
Okay, so you see how their anti-tank is completely turned around?
Russians are taking.
You need some Pioneer squad moving out.
Well, that's about to become very fun in a second. Okay, so my tank's going to target their anti-tank, along with my mortars. Oh boy. Yeah. Gets a little intense, as you can probably tell. Let me pull out a half-track and some panzers to stock it with.
In our grasp. Enemy has 25 points remaining. Awaiting orders. We must move. They're taking fire from the enemy squad. Fire! Don't cover the engine. Turret gunner ready to kill infantry target. Half-track has arrived.
Okay. It's almost done. Should be another maybe a minute. I don't know where they keep getting all these veterans from, but
Enemy
whatever.
can taste defeat. They only have 10 points remaining.
Yeah, they can.
Panzer Grenadiers. AT squad moving
New
out.
units.
Standing by.
Okay. So then we
Board that vehicle.
put my new panzers in my half-track. One interesting thing too about half-tracks is the fact that if your units get very cold and start to die, a half-track can actually, keep them alive much longer. So, that gives some incentive to do like a mounted assault,
Standing by.
or not a mounted assault, like an armored assault.
Ready. Get in the vehicle.
Okay, that was a very direct mortar. That was even close. Okay. So my half-track's gonna go driving. What I think I'm gonna do
Ready for orders.
is swing my Panther around. Just the one Panther? Oh, yep, there it is. And there we go. Victory!
We gift the fatherland with a victory.
Yep. As you can see, that was very back and forth, and that was by no means a sure victory, and against even harder AI, or God forbid, people, that could be interesting. But as I was been saying, if you think it looks cool, and I think it looks very cool, then, you know, hop in, pick up the beta. It's on sale until, again, June 18th, and maybe I'll see you online.